Also, this is the last GBM of the semester, considering the time we have left and exam weeks coming up. So we will still have a bunch of events this coming month, and we're going to go through all of them. So keep an eye on those, but this will be the last GBM. We'll have a really cool social next month kind of in place of a fourth GBM. So yeah, and in the summer, we still plan on having some light content and maybe a light event or two, just to help you de-stress if you're doing classes or working. So for example, last summer we had a recorded internship panel, and that went over pretty well. So we plan on doing the same thing. If you're doing internship this summer, it'd be great if you could contribute to that. We'll reach out about that probably like a few weeks into the summer, 3 weeks. So yeah. And for a funding update, Bobby, you can go over that.
Yeah, so looks like hopefully we're going to be funded again next year, which means coming into the fall, we'll have the opportunity to start to host in-person opportunity events. So we'll be able to do GBMs in person with Zoom on the side. But hopefully we start to get some things back to normal, and even better, rather than having to deal with gift cards, we can actually get some food for you guys fresh on the table. Make these GBMs a lot of fun. But yeah.
True. Yeah. The free pizza has been missed. But yeah, Bobby did a great job. I think only about 140 out of 570 budget applications were actually filled out until the budget ran out. So we got pretty lucky, which is awesome. Another thing we're doing in preparation for next semester is applying for a bunch of random hardware things. I've already filled out stuff for like a bunch of random stuff. The coolest one being a Waymo honeycomb LiDAR thing. And I'm actually emailing them right now. I don't know if we'll be able to get one, but it'd be really cool. It would allow us to basically maybe work with Gator Motorsports or something like that to work on a project. Who knows? But that's just an example of stuff we're filling out. And we'll let you guys know if we can get any of that cool stuff going. It'd be great. So like Bobby mentioned, we're planning on going back in person for the fall. Obviously, the university is shifting towards that. And so we're just going to mirror what the university is doing. That being said, we do plan next year for most of our events, like GBMs and bigger events, definitely streaming them. And, you know, we've kind of found it nice to have recordings in general. So, yeah. But we're still waiting for official guidance from the student involvement office about that stuff, but that's what we're planning. So yeah. Other great news is that our ACE office is actually done in the new Engineering Excellence building, which is, if you don't know, is the awesome looking building next to the Wrights. So we have our own office. It's in the computer engineering lab space. It'll be a place where we can actually hang out like we did back in the old days. Yep, the new engineering building. New. Well, actually, no, not the CISE or the computer science one that's being built, but the one that'll be finished by fall.
The one on the North Lawn.
Yeah, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. We have a lot of stuff being built apparently. Yeah, but yeah, if you remember back in the old days, we had the office in the Wrights and people would hang out all the time, and it was a good place to get to know members and the e-board and stuff like that. So hopefully it could be the same this semester. Lastly, there's new graduate rankings out. If you haven't been spammed with news about it, I can go ahead and send you a link. But yeah, so we're the #1 ranked computer engineering and engineering in general school in Florida. I believe we're ranked #12 in public schools for graduate computer engineering. You can see more ranks there. So that's pretty awesome. If you don't know about that, it's good to have pride in what UF is doing and what you guys have done as well. So yeah. And lastly, if you haven't seen our calendar yet, you can use this QR code or find it in .ace. That might be the easiest way. And that'll give you an idea of what's upcoming for the next month. So yeah.
All right, so I do have one last final announcement. My apologies, it's been a long day. One last announcement from the School of Engineering itself. So essentially, they're going to be introducing what's known as the Virtual Internship Program. So this is actually sponsored and coordinated by the Herbert Wertheim College of Engineering, and their goal is to convert various workspaces and classrooms on campus into sites where students will be able to perform their virtual internships. And this includes monitors, keyboards, stable internet connection, and of course, no noise. So if you don't have a reliable place at home, maybe you don't want to travel back home, maybe your parents sold all your furniture, whatever your situation is, if you need a better place to conduct your virtual internship, this could be the perfect option for you. So to essentially get this done, you have to reach out to John Trey Womack, the Assistant Director of Engineering and Extension at UF. His email is right there in the slides, and I will post it in just a second. So if you do have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me or to John himself. Thank you.
Awesome. Now we'll get into some chair updates.
All right, everyone, I'm Grant, again, social chair. And so the big announcement I have here is that we have a Zoom social this Friday. And so it's going to be a Zoom Olympics. So if you don't know what that is, basically just we're going to get in small teams, or maybe it's individual. But we're going to have a series of fun mini games and challenges. Everyone's going to compete, so you ends up winning. And so that's going to be this Friday again, April 2nd at 7 p.m. And then right down there is the link, but we're going to have that posted a few more times on the announcements channel. And so reminder, everyone, just keep a look at the announcements channel and just kind of keep up to date with everything that we have going on in there. And so a little bit about me and what I'm doing this summer is I am a software engineering internship with American Express. So I'm hoping that they give me one of those Centurion Black cards. They're very nice. Obviously wouldn't get one, but it's nice to dream. And then I've been playing a lot of disc golf, really bad at it. I can't stop. It's a lot of fun. That was not my shot there. That was actually Dhruv Patel's. And yeah, he's better than me.
Yes.
I'll give him that. All right, and that's all I have.
Hey guys, so we've been working on a couple of merch designs. The one that you see on the left, while ACE member return success, that's probably going to be something that is going to be finalized for our merch. On the right, those two are supposed to be like cards, like wordplay on like ACE, stuff like that. And we're possibly thinking about also making stickers and selling them too. So just keep updated on the Slack and we'll tell you when everything's finalized. Thanks, guys.
All right, it's me. Hi, I'm Shirag. I'm the workshop chair. A few updates on workshops we're gonna hold this semester, like before the end of the semester. We're trying to do a React workshop at the end of next week because the project committee wants to find people who are interested in React and other web development for the project, which is working on the website. So we're gonna like give some workshops that might introduce you to some of the concepts, see if you're interested or not. Also, we're talking about LinkedIn and GitHub workshops being planned before the end of the semester. Those are more like light, easy workshops that you can do while you're studying for exams and stuff. So a nice little break from your studying to do that. And lastly, I wanted to plug the Leak Code days one more time. They've been going on for a while. I highly recommend you go to the Leak Code channel in Slack and look at the recordings, go through the slides, and try to practice problems on your own. It's really helpful for your technical skills and land those internships. So that's all I had. Yeah.
Hey guys, as Shrug just mentioned, there will be a LinkedIn and GitHub workshop soon, probably within the next 2 weeks. Registration's currently ongoing, so one, reach out to your mentors if you need any advice on what classes to take, what you should put off, what classes you should take together and whatnot. And two, good luck on course registration. I hope that you get all the classes that you would like to get or that you need to get and whatnot, because they do fill up super quick. If you guys,
mommy 仲有什么emoji 对吧 about $100.
if you guys haven't already, join the mentorship channel. And I just want to plug .ace. If you go into Slack and you type .ace, there's so many resources that are extremely helpful, from resume templates to course schedules. Anything you need, you can find there.
All right, and Fatima wasn't able to make it today. She's got an exam. Hopefully things are going well for her. But just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of the things coming from her side of ACE, nothing major, but make sure that you're up to date with all of our different platforms so that you can stay in the loop, get out or get ready for any socials and other events this semester coming up. So we have the links for you on here. And something that just came out, if you've probably heard already, but UF students, you can go on One UF and register for vaccines starting next week if you would like to get that done through the school. But yeah, so don't forget to hit us up on Facebook, Remind, and I'm sure you're all on Slack, but just in case, there's stuff for you.
Hey, I'm Nathan, and I'm the academic chair. And so for the rest of the semester, I have like one more event planned. It's probably just going to be an event about how to just get like more involved around campus and see all the different possible ways to go about doing that. Aiming for around like mid-April, maybe a little bit later. And also, yeah, as you guys know, it's registration season. It's time to register for those classes. So I threw a picture of the just infamous loading screen every time you go to register for classes at 8 a.m. and a picture of just an awful schedule. So yeah, you don't want to have a schedule like that. I saw it on the Reddit like a year ago or something. It's just awful. But yeah, if you have any questions and you want to make sure you don't end up with a schedule like that, ask any questions you have about courses in the ACE advising channel.
Awesome. So yes, that's all our updates. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to anybody, either eBoard or chairs, but we want to hand it off to JPM. We got to transition the slides real quick, but yeah, give it up for them.
Hey guys, happy to see everyone. I'm going to share my screen. We do have our own presentation. I got a host disabled participant screen sharing. Do we know how to make that go away?
Go ahead, try again. I think I just fixed that.
Okay. Spectacular. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes,
sir.
All good.
Sounds good. All right. So again, thanks everyone for coming. Happy to be here. We have a couple of ACE members with us. We'll be introducing ourselves. But I did want to show everyone, I got my OG ACE shirt on. I believe it's the very first one. So yeah, I've been around for a while. But yeah, so this is our What I Wish I Knew talk. We'll be hearing from a couple of our representatives. But first, we always like to start with introductions to give a little bit of insight into ourselves, and kind of we don't want to paint that picture that we're just a bunch of engineers that sit in cubicles all day and we code for like 8 hours straight, and then we don't leave like our little boxes in our houses. So I'll let Lisa go first.
All right. Hey, everyone. My name's Lisa. I'm the recruiter for the software engineer program in Tampa. I'll go quickly just around introducing myself. So the top left is a picture of me and my husband. We got married in May of 2019. One of our favorite things to do together is get sushi. So that's a little picture of us getting sushi. And then next photo on the right is a picture of me and my best girlfriends. We all lived together in college. I went to the University of Delaware, so a little bit far from Florida, and the weather is not as great, but graduated there in 2016. And then to the left is my family. We're a big Notre Dame family, Fighting Irish fans. My dad and brother both went there, so we go out for a game every year, and that's us out there before one of the games at a tailgate. And then down bottom left is the beach in Ocean City, New Jersey. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Jersey Shore beaches. It might be like a Northeastern thing. I don't know how many of you in Florida have been there, but Ocean City is a special place to me. And then that's me rock climbing. So I'm very active. I like to try a bunch of new activities. Actually, before quarantine, I was training for a Spartan race. So big into weightlifting and running and just trying a bunch of new activities. And then next is my pride and joy, my cat. So that's my cat. His name is actually Kitty. And he looks mean, but he's actually really friendly, and he'll sit on my desk every once in a while I'm working. And then finally, just to fill up the slide, is a picture of a taco lasagna that I made. So I'm big into trying new Pinterest recipes, and that was my most recent success story. So that one got rave reviews from me and the husband. So just thought I'd throw that on the slide. But I don't know if Chad mentioned it, but this is one of the ways we introduce ourselves at the firm. So just to kind of put some more human elements to the faces that you see on the screen, this is one of the ways that we like to do that. So I'll pass it off to the next person, Chad, if you want to go to the next slide.
Hey everyone, my name's Natalie. I went to University of Florida some odd years ago. All you need to know is I don't qualify for recent graduate tickets, so that gives you some semblance of how long it's been. In this is a complete like a smorgasbord of pictures, but it represents one of the hobbies that I love to do, which is scrapbooking. So I love to take pictures. But in the top left, had a baby in a pandemic, which is now she's now approaching a year in 6 days. So, which I can't believe. But you'll see my daughter Brooke, my husband Sean, family kind of making up the left hand portion of it. Huge Gators fan. Always make it up for games. Definitely, if you ever want to. I'm glad to be amongst what I hope is all Gator fans, but if you ever want to talk trash anyways on a Saturday, I'm absolutely the person to do it. So obviously with all of you, I would be talking trash against other people, but happy to always talk about college football. Bottom right is, a bunch of friends from work who I came in with through our software engineer program out of college and are some of my closest friends. You'll see some of my friends outside of work as well. And then in the middle are some of the things that I love. I mentioned football. You see me there also in a wine cellar. So it's another hobby. So that's me.
So hi again, everyone. My name is Chad. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I graduated in May of 2019. I was a very involved member of ACE. From our slides, we have me and my family in the top left, the light of my life Pixel. So we named her during an ACE event. My girlfriend brought her to one of the events and we named her there and we had it like voted on by the members. Top right is me with some of my friends, also coworkers when we went to training. Bottom left is from when I went to Canada. I have a graduation photo. The bottom's my girlfriend and I also met in ACE. So, ACE, major part of my life. And then the bottom right, I guess you would say I'm a big sneakerhead. I collect a lot of shoes and the boxes were taking up a lot of space in my closet. So we decided to do something with it. We cut them all up and made some art. So I have like one of them in my office, one of them in the living room. It makes for a nice ambiance. But that's me.
Hey guys, my name is Augustin. Like Chad, I was also very involved in ACE. I was the 5th treasurer and also was a BEC rep during my time at ACE. So from the slides, I guess I'll start top right and then move way left. Oh. That's me in China. Yeah. That's me in Chinatown this past February. It was like really cold, and then I was actually walking in Chinatown, and then inside of a storefront, and then some snow fell on top of me, so that was nice. Underneath that's my pet fish. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I got into fishing actually because of the pandemic, because I had nothing else to do, and I was like, oh, let me take advantage of Florida. So that was actually a grouper that I caught at the Sunshine Skyway in Bradenton, I think. Next to that is actually some ACE members. Alex, which you guys will meet later if you guys don't already know him. Rohan, Alice, I think she's still in ACE. Lewis, and then Andrew, he should still be there, and then Ken Fox. So he was walking around doing an IG live, I guess, and he saw us in the old ACE office, and he decided to take a picture with us. So that was pretty cool. Above that's me walking around the Plaza of the Americas, and then top left, me and my girlfriend, of course, and underneath that, I was inspired by Chad to do something with all my. So I really love coffee. And I saw that Chad was collecting his boxes, and I was like, maybe I should collect my coffee bags. But I haven't got to do anything with them yet, so they're just in a bag. And I took them out for this picture. But yeah, that's it for me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Layla Lorfi. A quick highlight of who I am outside of the office. The middle picture here is my husband and I on our honeymoon. We have 2 pets. We have a cat and a dog. And I really enjoy being outside, working in the garden. My quarantine hobby was beekeeping. So I'm officially a Florida registered beekeeper, going on almost a year now. So we'll see how much longer I can keep it up for. That's just a quick highlight of who I am outside the office.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. I was also very involved in ACE. I was the social chair and mentorship chair at one point. And I graduated with Augustine last May in 2020. Going through the photos, that's me on someone's shoulder stack cupping up. I think that was at Vanderbilt, but you probably don't know, but I was undefeated stack cupper at all the small impact hackathons for the past like 3 years. In my free time, I like to travel when I can. That second photo is in Israel. I forgot what area we're in, but that like overlooked the whole minefield. It was beautiful. Then the middle picture, you can barely see us, but it's me and my girlfriend in Nashville. We weren't an ace love story like Chad though, unfortunately. And then I have another photo of me riding a camel in Israel, somewhere in the desert. And then I have my little puppy, Jameson, who I think he's like 7 months now, but he's not so little. He's like 65 pounds. But that's all I got.
Thanks everyone for sharing. So before we get into our, what I wish I knew in advice section, we of course have to do our plug for our opportunities. I'll let Lisa go over our program opportunities. She'll talk about like the SEP program. I didn't mention this, but me, Augustine, Alex, we're all like SEP software engineering program. So she'll talk about that and how to get involved there and how to apply.
All right, thanks, Chad. So just to kick us off, a few fun, fast facts. We're all obviously here for the Tampa Tech Center, but across the globe, we have 21 tech centers. So there are opportunities, around the world if you're looking to get involved with software engineering at the firm. In North America alone, we have 11 tech centers, and there are 50,000 plus technologists that work on various initiatives in software engineering and technology across the firm. So in sum, one of my favorite facts is that we spend annually $11 billion on technology. So much to do here, and we obviously value that and put a great investment into our technology at the firm. So just a couple quick fast facts to get us started. Next, I'll talk about our 2022 program opportunities. So our 2021 class is full for the internship and the full-time program. So we will begin recruiting for the 2022 opportunities when our applications open in August. So just a high level go over what our program opportunities are. To start off, I'll talk about the software engineering summer internship. The summer internship is a 10-week paid internship in technology from June through August. It's intended for sophomores and juniors at the time of application. So if you are currently a freshman or sophomore, at this point, when the applications open in August, you'll be a sophomore or junior, and you'd be the perfect applicant for our internship opportunity. We provide an immersive experience working on real solutions for the firm in a variety of areas. So primarily it's in the the corporate and investment bank, but interns who are working within a specific tech center could be working on a variety of different projects from other interns. So they are aligned to a manager who's working on a business critical item. So we're not just having you sit there kind of working on something that isn't critical to the firm. So we do pride ourselves in providing a real immersive experience working on real solutions at the firm. And then the internship opportunity is intended to pipeline into our full-time opportunity. And our full-time program is a 2-year non-rotational development program for graduating seniors. So if you are a junior this year, next year would be the perfect opportunity to apply for our software engineering full-time program. We start out the full-time program with an intensive interactive learning experience. So we make sure that you're all trained up and ready to go to hit the ground running for the 2 years duration of the program. And throughout the 2 years, we do provide ongoing development opportunities, events, training, mentorship opportunities, and a variety of other capacities as well for growth opportunities. Going down to the bottom left, we have the Tech Connect program, which is intended for those who do not have a background in technology, but are looking to start a career in technology. So maybe you have a familiarity with coding, but you didn't major in computer science. Our Tech Connect program provides an opportunity for students who come from that background. So we have the Tech Connect program hires start in June versus our software engineer programs hires who start in July. And the Tech Connect program provides a multi-week intensive Java training to ensure that you are ready to go to start with the rest of the full-time cohort in July. So basically you're paid for a duration of time just to learn, just to get up to speed and be ready to go with the rest of your cohort. And then finally, we have Forage. So Forage was formerly Inside Sherpa. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with that term before, but essentially it's a virtual internship experience for all grade levels. Anyone can do it. Your mom can do it. I could do it. Like anyone can go in and sign up for Forage. It's a free 5-hour self-paced virtual internship experience, like I mentioned, and it provides you a certificate upon completion. And it allows you to add that to your resume as having gone through Jpmorgan Chase's internship experience, which shows a lot of initiative that you're looking to begin to familiarize yourself with the firm and our frameworks, and starting to learn how to apply your technical skills to hypothetical problems at the firm to help get you ready for once you hopefully were to join us for the internship or for full time. So if you're looking for something to do this summer, that is a great opportunity. Just 5 hours. You can do it at your leisure. And we do highly recommend Forage. Next. All right, so I'll go over this one a little bit quickly. Just some quick stats. Our 2021 software engineer program in North America, we had 487 summer interns, or have 487 summer interns who are starting with us, and 432 full-time engineers that are starting with us, in addition to our 51 Tech Connects. So in total, we have about 1,000 interns or full-time program participants who are starting with us in 2021 in North America, which is very exciting. And so while we're kind of in the off season for recruiting right now, in the fall, there are various ways to be assessed. So we have, I'll go over them at a very high level. We have Code for Good, which we hold typically at Jpmorgan Chase Tech Centers, but most likely will be virtually this year. And that's an opportunity to work along Jpmorgan Chase Tech experts. And then Winning Women is an introductory program for undergraduate women. There's programming involved and possible interviews as well. And then Advancing Black Pathways is a pipeline program for sophomores, and they join our Advancing Black Pathways in the technology track, spend a summer with us, and then hopefully would convert into being software engineering program interns the following year. In addition, we have multiple conferences that we attend throughout the fall and the early winter listed out there. And then finally, obviously, is our virtual interviews. So we do conduct interviews this past year and potentially this coming year via Zoom, where we host our super days in a virtual format. There's a behavioral interview and a technical interview, and you can be selected for just a general super day as well. All right, so that leads me into how to apply. So I'll put a plug in for the top right there to join our talent network via the Zoom link in our chat. So if you saw Chad posted it, I know a couple of other people posted it as well, but that helps ensure that you get into our Jpmorgan Chase talent network. And then we're able to do two very important things, which is identify your major and interests and ensure that you're targeted for specific event opportunities that we have coming up throughout the year. And then secondly, that you'll receive a targeted communication specifically for you and your interests for when our applications are opening. So we'll be able to say, hey, our application link is live. We invite you to apply. So ensure you join our talent network via that link today. And then once the applications do go live in August, you'll be, initially you'll create an account to complete your application, which you'll be able to access again and again if you need to make any updates to your resumes, cover letters, anything like that. After you complete your application, you will complete something called Pymetrics, which is a cognitive gaming that helps us understand a little bit better how you think. It's really fun. It's very simple. We can't give too much away. It should be, it should be something that you experience in real time, but Pymetrics is an aspect of our application. And then thirdly is CodeView. So CodeView is a coding platform that will help us assess how you solve problems using code. So that's another integral part of the application. And once you've completed the application, Pymetrics and CodeView, then you're able to be considered for an interview. So just two quick notes as far as minimum requirements. We do just ask that you are enrolled in a 4-year degree program and that you're permanently authorized to work in the US as a qualification. And then one other thing I will mention is to just be mindful when you're selecting location preferences. So it will ask you to preference your top 3 locations. And I mentioned we have 11 tech centers across North America. So you'll want to make sure that you're mindful when you're submitting that, because you'll be interviewing most likely for your first or second location preference. Right, and Tampa, so just some quick facts on Tampa. I mentioned how many interns and full-timers we have coming in across North America. For Tampa specifically, we have 44 full-time hires and 49 summer intern hires that are starting with us in the summer this year. There are 2 Tampa locations and 5 offices in Tampa total. I mentioned earlier that our primary line of business in the Tampa Tech Center is the corporate and investment bank, and 3 key areas that we do have our interns and full-timers working in is banking technology, merchant services, and production management. All right, and the last thing I'll chat about, I spoke a little bit about events and letting you know what events we have coming up. Something that we are in the midst of right now is our Talk Tech with Us virtual series. And Chad, I believe we'll be sending this out, the link to sign up after the event. All right, cool, got a thumbs up. So we'll be sending the link out to sign up for any of these virtual chats if you are interested. We're covering a variety of topics over the next couple months through July to ensure that you feel confident once the applications open up about our programs, what they offer, and you have some time to hear from current program members, from recruiters, and just help you further explore your career opportunities in technology. So we hope to see you all there, and we'll be sending out the sign up link after this event.
Thanks for that, Lisa. Just so everyone knows what will happen for all of those events, I'll send something to Dominic, and I'll let him distribute it as Ace sees fit. So yeah, so here's the part you've all been waiting for, some of the stuff that we wish we knew and thus wish that you will know once you get in your careers, your internship, and general advice that we think will help you guys be successful in your careers. So I'll let Natalie take over.
Yeah, so my advice that I wish I knew was to let go of perfectionism. So if you go to the next slide, Chad, yeah, thank you. So for a bit of background on me, coming into UF certainly was a lifelong perfectionist. So valedictorian, tons of examples of perfectionism coming out throughout my life. And what I want to stress is the importance of a couple of these bullet points. And I'll just call out a few. So one is finding allies and getting outside of your own head. So if any of you are like me and have perfectionistic tendencies, I often find huge value in people in my life who can help ground my thinking and are good sounding boards for the things that maybe in my head that I think are reality, and then when I actually say them out loud are not quite so. So finding people in your life who can help provide this insight. And, you know, obviously on a personal level, my husband is one of those people, but I have a ton of friends at work too who help provide this balance. The other one I want to call out is taking time to celebrate your successes, especially, you know, in academia and where you're at right now. A lot of things are moving really fast and you're done with one exam and you're on to the next thing and what's this next project. But you know, really take time to celebrate. All of you are, I'm again a Gator grad, so I have the utmost pride in my alma mater, but all of you are at a very elite university, and you know, it's hard work to get there, hard work to succeed there, and take time to recognize all the success that you're achieving along the way. It's hard, especially in the environment that we're in, and everyone's dealing with a lot. And just take time to celebrate those successes, manage your own expectations, and look to kind of partner with allies and people who can help you realize that all the things you're doing are absolutely enough and awesome. So that's mine.
So mine actually kind of follows from there. The primary, I guess, idea I want to pass on is that you're a problem solver. And what I mean by that is I know a lot of people I get a lot of questions about like, well, what do I need to know for the internship? What do I need to know for full-time? And these are all completely valid, you know, like it's great. You come in, you know, all of the frameworks, you know, all the languages, like fantastic. But I was reading an article a couple of days ago that explained that like languages are more like your tools, right? So someone doesn't just know how to use like a hammer and not know how to use a wrench. So the expectation is not that you know every language, right? You should just be capable of picking those up. And the second one sounds a little bit weird, embracing imposter syndrome. This is kind of the opposite of what Natalie said, but also goes to her last bullet point about channeling the perfectionism. Something that I like to think, like, I'm constantly thinking like, wow, you know, I'm always exposed to such great software engineers. Like, will I ever be like them? And you really got to change that mindset into thinking like, there are people out there. It's fine. There are people better than you. That just means there's an opportunity for growth, right? Today is not a reflection of tomorrow. The struggles, the knowledge that you didn't have yesterday is totally okay as long as you work to learn all of that today, right? As long as you keep moving forward and you never stop, it's totally fine. And the last thing is confidence in your knowledge. I think that's something that a lot of new hires seem to struggle with. They go into a role, whether it be the internship or the full-time, and they think, oh, I have 3 months of experience. My opinion is completely irrelevant. And the idea or concern that I have from what we've just discussed from a business perspective or technical perspective is not valid, which is totally not true. Part of the reason any company hires people fresh out of college instead of purely digging for people with 4 years of experience is the fresh ideas you bring to the table. I know from my own team, myself, and some of the other newer grads, we've all come up with our share of ideas that some of the seniors are like, you know what, I don't know why we didn't think of it like that, or, you know, that's the reason you're hired, right? So be confident in yourself, be confident in what you know, and just embrace the future and the knowledge that is available to you instead of worrying about what you don't know.
Yeah. So I like, this is more personal advice, like it says up there. I wish someone told me that risks are a good thing, and I say that because I was like extremely risk adverse in college, and I wouldn't do something if it meant that there was like a possibility of failing, and I think that actually held me back a lot. And especially in our work, right? You're constantly being exposed to new technologies. What works today might not work tomorrow because business requirements might change. So you should be welcoming to challenges. You should take electives that are like new, like PLC or MLO or whatever they're offering, because those will all help you in getting new perspective, and then helping you develop your problem solving skills. And and everyone's like problem solving will not be the same. So you need to find what works for you and find how you learn and how you're able to adapt. Because exactly like the last point, it isn't about how much you know, but how quickly you can pick something up and then become impactful with it. Yeah.
All right, so my piece of advice is to really embrace that expectations are reasonable. So when I first joined right out of college, I think I was so scared that someone was going to find out that I didn't know what they thought I should know, and what I came to find is that it takes time to build up that experience to become, a senior or go-to member on your team. Teammates are very eager to help, and everyone knows that if you enter through the SEP program, you have your college coursework as your experience, right? So I think really leaning into the idea that it takes time to build up that experience to become an expert in your field, and lean into your team members, because we truly do want you to succeed. We want to work with you. We want to help you build up that skill set so that you can become a more influential part of each of our teams. And it's okay to say that you don't know. Someone asks you a question or you're given a task. It's okay to not know the answer to it, and then to look into Google searching or doing independent research, or reaching out to your peers for advice. I think all of that is very accepted and very realistic for day-to-day as a software engineer. And so just keeping in mind that it takes time to build up that experience, and no one's expecting you to be an expert your first day on the job.
So I guess mine's kind of good to wrap up on, but a majority of what you will do at work isn't taught in school, like everyone's been saying, you're going to start off at Jpmorgan, and you won't know, like they hired you, like Chad said, for your problem solving skills and your new ideas. They don't expect you to know how to do everything right off the bat. Like, yes, you might know how to code, but being able to deploy or like make changes to the code base on such a large scale, they don't teach you how to do that at school. So work will get stressful, especially as you're learning things. But what you need to do is to take breaks and enjoy fresh air. It's very easy to get caught up in work. And I know a lot of people that schedule 15-minute breaks throughout the day just so they can stop, take a break from looking at the screen and just like relax for a minute. As you're learning, don't be afraid to ask questions, whether you're in a meeting and like they say an acronym. Jpmorgan's good, or like very big on acronyms. If you don't know what it is, don't be afraid to speak up and ask like questions. I'm going to skip the third one real quick, but as you're learning, if you don't know how to do something and you're stuck on something, whether it be after a couple hours and you can't make any progress, reach out to people on your team, because there's plenty of people there that have a lot of experience doing in like the software engineering role. And that way you can also learn new skills, network with these people, get to know them, and overall you'll just grow in the workforce as an employee. And then talk about your expectations with your manager. That itself will be very relaxing, knowing about like what he's expecting from you, and being able to talk to your manager about like what you're experiencing, especially from the start. That way you just can handle like your workload, and if you're struggling with something, that's something you can talk to them about and just figure your role out in the company.
So that about covers it for our mainline points of advice. I did want to add to Alex and Layla's point with the, let me just go back to the last slide. The asking questions, the expectations, and not knowing things. Like, this is something that I worried about a lot, but like really it's okay to say that you don't know it, right? Like from a business standpoint, you don't want to be the guy that like said, oh, I know it, and then you waste everyone's time because you don't. Like, people really appreciate it if you're like, oh, I don't know this, but like, can you help me understand? Can you use it as a learning experience, right? Or part of what Alex said about networking, oftentimes like, you'll commit code to a code base, and then suddenly you got like 10 people messaging you because you're the last person who committed, and you're suddenly for some reason the subject matter expert on this project. But networking and knowing the people that you work around, it becomes very easy to say, oh, I'm not familiar with this, but here's someone who is. And then you've now you don't have a connection with that person who worked on originally, you have a connection with the person who asked. So definitely be willing to talk to other people, even if maybe it doesn't directly involve like what you're doing from day to day. I promise it will be valuable eventually. But with that, we'll open up for questions. If anyone has any questions, I don't know if I've never used like the raise hand feature here or how we want to organize that, but yeah, open for questions.
And maybe chat if you want to stop sharing your screen so we can see everyone bigger.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Wait, where's the button to stop sharing my screen? There's a alt something command, right? I don't use Zoom on my desktop. This is my technological ineptitude showing.
It should be at the top middle bar. It's like going to be a
Oh,
Zoom looking.
It popped up.
There you go.
There we go.
Problem solving, just like he recommended.
Yeah, there it is. See, no one expects you to know how to stop screen sharing on Zoom, right? But someone will teach you.
So I have a question. It's kind of more of a practical question, I guess, out of curiosity. But I know, obviously, you guys took a very like awesome and personal approach to the presentation, which I really like personally. And I was wondering, I guess, about work-life balance and like having a feeling of community at Jpmorgan. I don't know who wants to take that on.
I think we all probably have an answer. I can start off though. Certainly you saw the pictures in mine. So having a new baby, having gone on maternity leave last year, having gone through building a house, getting married, all this time in my tenure at JPMorgan Chase, I've had a litany of life events that I felt very well supported throughout. I'm a big believer in that you should really, the people that you work with, you should really enjoy working with them. We spend a lot of time at work to not. So you saw in a corner of my photos, Layla's in one of those photos, one of my good friends, like people who I enjoy spending time with. There's people who I came in with from the software engineer program that were at my wedding years later, that were at my baby shower, people I eat lunch with in the office every day. So for me, it's harder to say like, this is work and this is like life, because there's so many people at work that are such an integral part of my life. So in general, I felt very well supported throughout to be able to make, time for all the things that I do that are totally outside of work, daughter, being at home, a lot of people dealing with childcare and things like that, and many other responsibilities throughout these coronavirus times. So I think we've been very well supported through that. So long answer from me, not sure if anyone else wants to chime in, but.
So yeah, and I'll follow up to that. I'll save, because I have a very similar story to Natalie. Coworkers turned friends. We're in my wedding. We hang out all the time, outside of the office. I had the same lunch group for about 5 years. So, I mean, we definitely, like, the community sense is very real with JPMorgan. Adding on to that, more from the angle of inter-office balance. I've had multiple managers over the years that I've been at JPMorgan, and it's always been a no questions asked policy. Like if I had to take time off for a family matter or a personal issue or anything at all, it's always, yep, take care of your family, take care of yourself, we'll make it work on the team. And I think something that JPMorgan does really well is when we form our teams, we really empower the individuals to be able to support each other. So if I had to step out suddenly, someone else can come up behind, pick up whatever work I was working on and carry it through. So I definitely think that that's something that stands us apart from, other organizations. Is definitely, we not only talk about it, but we actually execute and we action behind it as well.
Awesome, thank you. I have another question if nobody else, I don't know, did I cut you off, Dom?
Oh no, it's all good. You can go ahead and I'll just follow in.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, and this might be, kind of maybe too specific, but if you could choose one thing for a current college student to focus on in order to get a position at JPMorgan, what would you tell them to do?
Are we talking technical or like soft skills or any skills, I guess?
I guess I'd go with technical, really any skills, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So from a technical perspective, I would say having an awareness on like unit testing. You don't need to know like necessarily how to actually do it, but have enough of an awareness that you're familiar with the benefits of unit testing frameworks, and able to write a simple test, I think would be huge.
And if I could take that suggestion one step further, Dr. Byron Williams teaches an awesome special topics course on software testing that's offered in the fall that we guest lecture at. But it's a really, really well done course. He's awesome. So if you have an opportunity to get into that. Oh, I see it in the chat. Yes, great course. You will see us if you're looking to take that class, you will absolutely see us there for a guest lecture.
So I've got a tip. I would start a project and then put it on AWS and like actually like finish it, because I know when I'm in college and even now, right, you have like so many like things you start but you don't finish and you don't actually ever see it like come to life in a sense. And I think that's a very valuable experience that you should do at least once.
I'd say like have a good foundation in object-oriented programming, because that's used heavily, at least on my team. Being able to understand the basics of just how to write a object-oriented program is very beneficial.
Awesome, thank you. And yeah, I don't have a spot in that class yet because I talked about it too much, but hopefully I can snag one.
Hope it opens up for you. Is it Dominic? You had a question?
Yeah, I guess I'll go into it. So this one's kind of like this big, cute, grandiose question I ask like every recruiter because I kind of just want to see how to approach it. So everyone likes to talk about how great their company is, but what would you say is maybe like one weakness or maybe like a shortcoming that comes maybe with Jpmorgan itself or the hiring process or just everyday work life? And what do you think the new interns could do or new interns or new full hires could do when they come to try and alleviate or work around those problems?
So I have one personally that I think you'll hear a lot about. Maybe not just from Jpmorgan, maybe you've heard this from other people, right? But because of how big Jpmorgan is, right? The scale we operate on, the importance of what we do, the security, I think you'll find that sometimes the technologies that we have in place might not be like the latest bleeding edge stuff that you might see somewhere else. Like if you're like a big, like I need to be using Windows 10. Not every line of business is on Windows 10, right? Not that that's like a huge deal. Or maybe the latest version of a framework is not available yet because it hasn't been validated. We haven't made sure that there's no security risks, that, you know, if something happens here, people don't get paid, money's not transferred, mergers don't happen, right? So stuff like that's very important, which is a very valid reason of why sometimes this is the case, but that's something to keep in mind. I don't know how it is at other organizations, but yeah, occasionally you'll see some stuff like, oh, I was working with a like a time series database technology, and I was like, oh, the version I'm using got bugged, and I look, and it's like, oh, the latest version has the bug fixed, but I need to get it cleared first before we can use it, right? So nothing too major. There's always workarounds, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I think highlighting on what Chad was saying, there's a lot of people who coming in are not used to perhaps working in an industry that's regulated. So if you're creating a random API for someone to download a song, like maybe no one cares, but when you're moving people's money, people want to make sure that you've taken all the security and stability and resiliency protocols that I think that sometimes that's something that people maybe aren't aware of, or if they worked in an industry that, you know, that was kind of lower risk, or they weren't regulated, or they weren't moving, you know, around a quarter of the world's money every day, maybe that was something that they didn't have to consider. So if, you know, that can be somewhat of a shock to people who maybe haven't worked in that type of industry, is a lot of the care we take in making sure that our code is secure, stable, etc., which does result in, you know, having those things in mind as a developer that you might not have had experienced before. So just highlighting on what Chad said as well.
All right, fantastic. All right, so stay in touch with security features, maybe switch back to Windows 98 for a week, you know, see how it is. All right, fantastic. Thank you.
I actually know someone who skins his Windows as like one of the 90s ones, because apparently it fits more desktop icons in the bottom. So when he's got like a bunch of stuff open, he like strategically uses that skin so that way he can see more things. I don't know. I don't like it enough to do it, but there's value in it, I guess.
Oh, sorry. I don't really have a question. I'm kind of new to UF. I just transferred from somewhere else, and I just want to join this, like just to see what was going on in this GBM. And I'm really glad that y'all told me about Jpmorgan stuff, and I'll look into it. I'm really glad just to listen in. And also, I was wondering if I could talk to you like through email, Greg, after this Zoom, because like I have an assignment, and like I need like someone's signature that I attend the event, and I'm actually glad I attended, by the way. Thank you all so much.
And we're glad to have you, Cameron. Thanks for coming out.
I got you, Cameron. Awesome.
Don't worry, I took that class too. It's a lot easier for me because I was on the e-board, so I signed for myself, right?
Yeah. It's good to have friends.
All right, I'm gonna pick Tyler to ask a question because he was the treasure that came after me. So I'm picking on you. I'm picking on you, Tyler.
Oh wow. Okay.
Putting you on the spot.
All right.
Or you can
Man,
pass the buck to-
Augustine, I mean, you made him take over your treasurer responsibilities, and now you're making him ask a question. Like, really coming out strong on a Wednesday, Augustine.
Yeah, you know.
You
Or
guys
you can
just
pass
had
the
a-
buck to Drew. You know, I know Drew too.
All right. Here's one.
All right, let's go.
Augustine's going to answer this, by the way, just for full awareness.
What would you say is something about Jpmorgan that you think could be better?
Didn't someone already ask that?
Did that happen?
Sort of.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you're right.
Do I still have to answer that?
It's okay. We don't have to put anyone on the spot, right?
No, we do not have to put him on the spot, and then you can't. Yeah. So thank you, Tyler. If there's a question that you would like to ask,
I'll think about it
feel
more.
free. But yes.
Here, I guess I can sub in. So this is more towards like the fact that it's being recorded. Maybe there's like a shy freshman who's going to look back upon this. So let's say hypothetically, I'm a freshman. I've done no class involvement. I'm absolutely terrified. What would be the best first steps forward to like actually work towards an internship at Jpmorgan?
So I see Lisa unmuted herself. She's probably going to say exactly what I said. Go ahead.
I hope. Hopefully we're on the same page. I would say just a plug back to Forage. It really does help you get some insight into what an internship experience here would even be like. So, and it's free and it's self-paced. And it gives you something to put on your resume. So if you're saying you have nothing, you have no experience, you have nothing to add to your resume, that gives you something that actually helps prioritize you in the recruiting process, and also allows you some further insight into what an experience could be like here at the firm. And it's not graded or anything. It's really just an experiential thing. So I would say that would be a great first step. But addition to that, get involved from there. So join clubs, participate in a hackathon, get a leadership opportunity at some point. But a good starting point, I would say, is Forage. Hopefully, Natalie, that's what you were going to say as well.
It was absolutely. So I think the benefit, I know as a freshman, like there wasn't a ton of internship opportunities for me. And I was like, what am I going to do? So to have something that you can go through and do on your own time and then be able to add it to your resume, which is, it would look great on a resume, to have this kind of internship experience and go through modules on, like a banking platform. I think there's a lot of cool experience that would help you better differentiate yourself as a freshman, for those freshmen that may rewatch this. But definitely get involved. If they're watching this, I hope they're involved in ACE, and it's a great organization to be a part of, but get involved, do things, meet people. I know a ton of, great experience too is if you've had a class you've done well in and you go back and you want to TA it or do research with that professor. That's another kind of easier thing to approach without having any experience.
It's going to be my shameless ACE plug, even though I don't go there anymore, right? But like, if there is a freshman watching this, I found out about Jpmorgan through ACE. I found out about Code for Good, which is our hackathon. That's how I got my internship. I found out about it through ACE. You'll notice that our reps here from ACE were all chairs or e-board members. And I think you'll see that pattern just in people in general. If you look at alum from UF, a lot of them were heavily involved. So if the cycle is still the same, in fall, I believe those chair positions open. I would definitely not hesitate to apply for those. We do notice stuff like that, people getting involved in trying to make their university a better place. I can go on and on about like ACE helped my class schedule be formed properly. I found my senior project partner in ACE. The list goes on. So definitely, if you are just now getting involved, stay involved, right? Stick around. I promise it's worth your while.
And it's never too late, because I joined ACE like not even a computer science major, and my second year of college. So seconding what Chad said.
I also joined in my spring of my sophomore year and totally changed my life, right? So yeah, and I hate to do this in ACE meeting, but like even if it's not ACE, just get involved, right? It's never too late. It'll really help your career. Networking, finding new opportunities, learning new skills, meeting new people, all of that provides value no matter how you do it, no matter where you do it.
Oh, and once code is, somewhat controlled, go to a hackathon. Swamp Hacks is also a great org. So yeah.
Ditto to all that. Awesome. So do we have maybe one more closing question? If not, we can close the meeting.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you guys for coming. That was awesome. If you guys can give like clapping emojis or just clap and Zoom, that'd be great. But thank you guys.
While you guys are in the Zoom, if you guys go into the Zoom chat, don't forget to click our sign-in link to join our talent network and get your name in there for our DoorDash gift card. So don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys sign in.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Great rest of your day.
I'll keep the meeting open for like 2 more minutes in case anybody's looking for the link. But yeah. Thank you so much,
Cool.
Chad. That was awesome. That was really good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys setting this up. I'll be sure to send Dominic the PDF. It'll have one of the last slides. I know it's recorded anyway, so the last event we had wasn't recorded.